Welcome back to another wonderful math review video. We are going over finals, and we are going to review, of course, and one of the problems here is just a simple multiplication problem. This is a very basic review, which I hope you all know how to do. And so we're going to do an area model because that's the easiest way to multiply, especially when you have these polynomials with all these different terms. You know, you want to make sure that you're organized so you don't miss anything. And there's really no better way to do it than to use the area model. And so what I recommend is you first multiply the signs, then the numbers, then the variables. So 3 times 5 is 15. X times x cubed, x squared is x cubed. And that's that. And look at this next one here. So 3x times minus 7x. First the sign, so that's minus. Then the number, 3 times 7 is 21. Then the variables, x times x is x squared. Just be orderly like that. Minus 8 times 3x. Well, first the sign, that's minus. 3 times 8 is 24. Then the variable, and that is x. And now the second row. Minus times nothing is just minus. 5 times 7 is 35. And x squared, because there's no other variable on the 7. And that's just what we have. Next here, minus times minus is positive, so I can leave that off. 7 times 7 is 49. And we have 1x, so we'll just leave that x there. And minus times minus is positive, and 8 times 7 is 56. And now we write this out. So our answer is 15x cubed. And then we have to take these two here together, because they have the same variables, and if they have the same variables or they have like terms, we add them together, and so that's going to give us minus 46x squared. And the same thing's going to happen over here with 49x and minus 24x. That's going to give me 25x, and then we just have our 56 at the end. Let me move over a little bit. Oh, that's all I got. Okay. And there you have it. That's your answer. That is the answer to number 2. And number 1 is basically the same thing. That's why I didn't do both. You just have to do an area model and multiply it out. Number 3. Now this one's a lot tougher. Let me zoom in a little bit here. I recommend that you pause this video and try to figure it out yourself before you watch the explanation. And when you unpause, you can listen to the explanation. So here we go. And we're back. So we have one thing I want to point out is that they're all positives. And that really helps because I'm looking at this number right here and what its factors are. Because those are going to tell me which binomials are my candidates. What my candidates are for what could possibly divide this polynomial. And so the factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5, and 15. And so each of those I'm going to put in parentheses like this. And I'm going to try each one out and try to divide by it. Now I don't have to do the minus this time because there is no minus. And if there's no minus there, there's not going to be any minuses in the factors. So that helps. That cuts down the answers, the candidates by half. So let us now divide. Now I prefer synthetic division. I think it's the fastest way to go. So we have here 1, we have 5, we have 3, and we have 15. And so I'm just going to write those numbers in for my synthetic division. And now I'm going to try each one out. So the one tricky part here is to remember what the number is that I write. And I'm going to put a -1 here. Do you know why it's -1? Because it's whatever makes this 0 is what my x is. The numbers that I put here. So that's why it's -1, because I get a lot of people asking me about that. They're very confused. Why is it minus 1? You just said we're dividing by x plus 1. Because in synthetic division, it's like a little trick. So, we have to go with the 0. So, again, if you're good so far, try pausing it again and see if you can get the rest of this. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep moving. 1 plus nothing is 1. And 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. 5 minus 1 is 4. And 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. And negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. And this added up to 16. Well, that's definitely not 0. So there's a remainder. And if there's a remainder, that means that it wasn't a factor. So, in other words, that tells me that x plus 1 is actually not a factor of this polynomial. And so I'm going to have to try another factor and do that. Now, why did I start with 1 or negative 1? Because you should always start with the lower numbers. They're just more likely to be the answer. So I'm going to move on to the next one. So let's try minus 3. 1 plus nothing is 1, times minus 3 is minus 3. 5 minus 3 is 2, times minus 3 is minus 6. 3 minus 6 is minus 3, times minus 3 is positive 9. And again, we don't have a remainder of 0, so that means plus 3 is also not a factor. And maybe I should be getting worried, but I'm not worried. I already know what happens. So plus 5 is, we're going to do minus 5. Then we add down that 1, multiplied by minus 5, we get minus 5. Add those together, get 0. 0 times minus 5 is 0. Add those together, we get 3. And 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Hey, that one worked. What does that mean? Well, it means that this right here, I don't know why they have it equals 0. It doesn't have to have an equals 0. Oh, well, whatever. And so that's going to be x plus 5 times, what does this mean? Well, it's 1 degree down, so it's so it's like this. So this is x squared. This is my x. This is the number or the constant, and this is my remainder. So no remainder. Constant is 3. No x, and we have an x squared. So that means that this looks like this: x squared plus 3. And that's the factor. Now, I could factor that if you want imaginaries. I don't. So I'm done. But if you did want imaginaries, it would be x plus 3i times x minus 3i. And that is it. Do we have time for one more? I think I have time for one more. Let's look at this one right here. Again, we're looking at the numbers here. So we have candidates. It's either x plus 1, x minus 1, x plus 2, x minus 2, or x plus 4, x minus 4. And I'm just going to, I guess I can do it for you. It's not going to be the 4s. Again, I always start with the 1s. It's just more likely to be. And so I do my synthetic division, 1, negative 1, 4, and 4. So that's 1, negative 1, 4, and negative 4. And we're going to try out this one right here. So that would be negative 1. And let's go. 1 plus nothing is 1. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. Times negative 1 is 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. Times negative 1 is negative 6. That is not 0. So therefore, this one does not work. So that tells me that this is not a factor. So let's try the next one. 1. 1 plus nothing is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Minus 1 plus 1 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. Minus 4 plus 4 is 0. Hey, that one worked. So that means, what that means is that this right here equals x minus 1 times x squared plus 4. Is it plus 4? Yeah, it looks like it's plus 4. So again, I'm not going to do out my unreal ones. So that's it then. And that's all we have time for right now. I'm going to do another video and do the next couple parts. So please stay tuned for that. Please like, share, and subscribe. And, of course, buy my merch, which doesn't really exist. That's just a joke. Thank you, everyone.